Well, I really can't believe that I've got to waste more time going through this bullshit. And I can't believe I've got to do this video, to be fair. Because, what is happening in our personal lives really shouldn't have to be shared, but in this case, it is going to be the only way for this to come out how it should. You have to bear with me because I'm trying to catch up. So, in the description, there'll be links to 2 videos, and you'll find that one of them's the original video that I put out, mentioning no names, and the second one will be Colette's response to my video. Now, I'll tell you now, I've had to write notes on this one, make sure I've got everything in that I need to get in, make sure that I word it right, because we know how quick people are to jump all over that shit. And the reason the 2 videos are in the link, in the description below, is because, obviously, you can reference them, or if you haven't seen them, check them out, and things will probably click into place from there, to be fair. I've got my notes next to me, it's a case of having to, because, as you know, I can and a lot and not get what I want out, and then I'm kicking myself afterwards. Right. Now, both of us work together. A lot of people go, oh, you work and you play together, how can you work and you play together? Simple, because we've been together just short of 17 years, and we enjoy working and playing together. And I suppose in my job, that's where I've managed to get my little pet hate of a certain type of feminist, mobile phones being used at the wheel, and Audi drivers. But that's not what I'm here for. Now, well, we've been in the movement for quite a while, and there's not many people that I've had full-on information about how we, what about our past and stuff like that, because it shouldn't be anyone else's business unless you want to talk about it. I know how to get myself into trouble on a regular basis, because I too often engage my mouth before my brain, but then at the same time I like to be just as surprised as everybody else in the room. So, let's get down to this lot, shall we? I am trying to catch up on a few of the necklaces and stuff, so if you can hear jingling and jangling, that's just me moving bits about. Now, we've never asked for help off anyone. In fact, we've made a lot of changes for the movement ourselves. And for those that know us, will know that it wasn't so long ago that we sold what I would call my dream car, which was my Mitsubishi Warrior, for a minibus. So we could take patriots that couldn't afford it on demos we wasn't charging. We even said we'd get them a fucking drink when we got to the other end, if it was going to get more feet on the street. The only time we booked holidays at work was to go on the demos. Driving as a job, and then spending hundreds of pounds driving up and down the country to different demos. Even the office used to make a joke out of us having a day off because they knew we was heading towards a demo, or it was demo day or whatever. But that's because we're not afraid to actually say how it is, and the label's there now, it's stuck. We're right wing. We've donated to a number of groups. But we even took our own veterans to Duxford for the day. Paid for it, got them the teas on the way home. The reason why we got deactivated off Facebook. Yes, I know, strange. But we never bragged about it. We didn't want people knowing about it, because at the end of the day, bear with me, I can't be doing with fake friends with fucking dollar signs in their eyes. This is the thank you card from the veterans for that day. And it stays up on the mantelpiece because I just thought it was sweet. Sorry about that, he'd forget his bollocks if they weren't attached in a sack between his legs, but hey. So, with us working together and with the jobs we do, there's decent wages coming into the house. So we can pay to do what we did, what I've just explained above, and we're not sponging or asking people for fucking donations. We've donated to a number of groups. Even when there was the incident in Leeds, I spoke to the woman direct and we donated to try and get that money back. At the end of the day, I shouldn't have to be telling you all this shit. And I don't want the fake friends because they think that they can come and loan this and come and loan that and never pay it back. This is another reason why we didn't want people knowing what we did or what we do. We're not rich. I find money's the root of all evil as long as the bills are paid and other stuff. But we work hard for it and we spend it on what we want to spend it on. So, while all this shit's been kicking off, I decided I was going to go back to plan A. The one that I was going to do, where it involves making necklaces, bracelets, anything that I could do, I could think of, we could do so many, sell them on, and all the funds are going to Connor's Fund and everything would be shown on the group page on Facebook, how it works. I even said that you can request a statement monthly so you know where the money is and it's building up in that account. Even the money from postage and packaging will be going in. Any money that we pay out for bits, like we went to Hobbycraft yesterday and we went and got some more clasps and stuff because I was running around like an idiot not being able to find the tub I've already got. But these need to be finished and put on the cards that are in the back. And then obviously wrapped and everything else. But we won't be claiming any of that money back. So the money that you pay for these, it's all going into that fund. And like I said, I won't have a problem showing any statements of where it's gone and what it's doing. So I'm basically going to give you my side of the story. And mine comes with plenty of evidence. In my video, yeah, I was angry. I still am angry that I'm still having to deal with this shit. Didn't slag any of Tommy's team off. I just merely, in my own words, told them they could fuck off. Because, again, angry. And people in the same situation would be angry. Instead of throwing names around and throwing words around like it's a bit of fun in a playground. Now, this one we saw each other at Rampton, at the demo. When we went to the pub, I didn't actually start crying until you started filling my head full of shit. I was close. I found it hard to hold it together while I was trying to explain it, but I didn't burst out crying at the bar. At the bar, yeah, at the bar, oh, it's just annoying on so many levels. I handed you 50 quid. And when I handed you that 50 quid, I said, this is for Melanie Shaw, her fund, and it would be the last one we'd be giving out for a while because we had a dream holiday to pay for because we've got a terminally ill grandson. That is what I said to you. And the holiday, before anyone jumps on board and says, oh, well, you're just all trying to do this for a free holiday, we are included in that holiday. That holiday is for Connor, his mum and his siblings to go and make memories. We will be staying back here. We will be getting on with life as normal, going to work and doing what we need to do. But it wasn't just that. I did say there was other shit going on as well. I was very clear that there was other shit going on as well, but like I said, it's no one else's business. We've got a habit of dealing with things. We've been together long enough to know how to deal with most. So it was just something else that had to be dealt with. The reason we hadn't been to the demos is because, and again, those that know me will know that when I was going through a bad time of my own, I started hoarding shit, thinking that that'd make things better. And obviously it didn't, it just cluttered the house. And for the last year, the few hours I get a weekend, I've been spending gutting the house. Back to how the house should be. And again, because I work all week, I only get weekends. And there was a lot of stuff to get rid of. Now, after passing you the money, and that short explanation, left the lads to get the drinks, and we went and sat and had a conversation about it at the table in the corner. We don't need to go through it all. It's basically, I explained what was going on, and then it was, well, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do that. I'll have a word with Team Tommy, and it was like, that was the point when I should have just turned around and said, no, do it ourselves. But we all have to learn lessons, don't we? Now, anyone actually know where that £50 that I handed her went? Because now I'm not so sure myself. I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just expressing an opinion, which I'm entitled to. Now, the other team member, whose name you won't mention, but you have before in another video, wow. When I heard that, I just thought, wow. It was as if we weren't even in the same pub. I know who was there, and I know who was members, or supposed to be members of Team Tommy, but the same as my first video, those names won't be mentioned. Like, yours wasn't mentioned. But the thing is, now you've mentioned my name as well as a few others. It's an open playing field, seeing as you like treating it like a game and all that shit. Right, back on track. Anyway, all this that you've managed to turn into a circus show or shit parade, as I like to call them, I haven't called you a liar or accused you of anything. I asked the question, and that was basically, where is all the money and what the fuck is going on? Because at this point, I still wasn't on Facebook. Right. So without going around in circles, if you've watched both videos, I think you will have got the gist of it all by now. The GoFundMe that she keeps going on about refunds, I'd accepted that there'd been refunds because it was a Just Giving page that she set up in her name that I was questioning, not the GoFundMe. Now, this Just Giving page was set up on the 19th of September. And on the 24th of September, I was informed via text message that it had reached £110. The GoFundMe that was set up with Sammy's bank account details wasn't set up until the 15th. And the 15th of October, sorry, not 15th of September. From the 19th of September to the 15th of October, there was a Just Giving page. Nothing to do with the GoFundMe page. And nothing to do with the GoFundMe page now that's on the page on Facebook. And I ain't got a clue what went into the one that Sammy was originally put on. I'm not really bothered, as long as everyone got the refunds and not just a couple of people showing bank statements. And like I said, I'd not accused you of anything. I just asked where the money was. Now, as for the boxing match, wow. I tell you what, I will give you your dues, you are good at trying the old bullshit and brains routine. Thing is though, my brain's heard too much bullshit, so it doesn't ring with mine anymore. You were saying that it was going to another charity and he's got a picture and a certificate. So while he was trying to prove your innocence, why did you not have a copy of this picture or certificate or a receipt to state that it had gone to another charity? At the end of the day, the money is not the issue. It's the fact that it was raised in Connor's name. It's fraud. Because he didn't receive it. Now, this is where you turn it right into the circus that I've been on about. We didn't ask for help. I explained to you what was going on, but we never asked for help. Keep Connor Smiling is nearly 2 years old. And yes, there's a link on it now. If you want to donate, I'm not going to try and force anyone into trying to help. If you want to donate, the link's there. If you want to buy a necklace with the money to go in, all the links will be available soon. I don't need to beg people for stuff when I know that we can do it ourselves. We're not scared of grafting or actually doing things properly. Now, like I said, this was the original plan. We was going to do bracelets, necklaces, whatever we needed to do. We was going to do car boots with all the crap that we've got laying about, and any of that money would be going in. Anything we could sell it would be going in, as well as working, just to get the money together for this holiday. We wasn't asking, we never asked for help. And the comment, wow, the comment about people trying shit on. I'd love to know who that was at. Because, sure as hell I haven't been pushing shit. And I know that I made that mistake and I shouldn't have turned around and said, yeah, let's give it a go. And I should have just turned around and said, no, it's alright, we'll do it ourselves. Because the one thing that we are used to in life is being let down. Then you had to go one better. And any normal person will know you just broke the law. You have shared, even though it's only a few lines of a 7-page paragraph that you've picked out to make us look like liars, confidential papers. So, yeah, you have broke the law there. You decided out of that report that you was going to choose the possible outcome if he'd been treated properly. And this is where I got really irritated, because you've been on Google and you've read the basic information about HHT. The one that the 1 in 5,000 get, where 97% ain't actually ever diagnosed with it, because it's mainly nosebleeds that will sort itself out as you get older. It should have been caught a long time ago, and his life would be different. And they're being controlled by antibiotics, again, if it was caught back when it should have been caught, and not now, or a year ago, 2 years ago. He said treating him for asthma when it wasn't asthma, things would have been a lot different. Now, Connor's got the aggressive 1 in 500,000. And it is life-threatening. He's had to have 2/3 of a lung removed. He's due in on the 6th of January to have the rest of that lung removed to try and stop these growths from growing anywhere else and putting his life at further risk. They can't put a date on his life expectancy because it all relies on how the operations go and whether these growths want to try and grow back somewhere else, or whether he has a stroke, or whether he starts bleeding internally. Now, I personally think old fire, an 11-year-old shouldn't be going through that, grandson or not. No child should have to be going through that. He's not leading a normal life. He's not got it under control with antibiotics like you've read on Google. Instead of the actual condition that he has got, the more aggressive. The one that says when it causes respiratory problems and problems with the brain, it becomes life-threatening. So, this is where, on top of that as well, the poor little bugger's at risk of having a stroke. Spot on life for a child, that, innit? Sorry, I'll stop with the sarcasm. Now, the school said they couldn't take him because of his condition, and it broke his heart because it was something he was really looking forward to. So that was his first letdown, and then his hopes all got risen again, and he was happy and stuff like that. Now let me make sure I've got the right one here. Oh, over here. And you ended up smashing his dreams to bits again, because apparently it didn't say terminally ill in the paperwork. Now, as well as mentioning about the boxing money going into Connor's account, screenshots, and Tommy's team booking the holiday for them, they have donors ready to pay for the holiday, just waiting on confirmation of Connor's operation. Nothing to do with it apparently not saying terminal in the paperwork. There you are, Connor's operation. But then, says that she received a call from Tommy's team stating the evidence doesn't prove Connor is terminally ill and he's not going to get involved, and that John had the sponsor money at his house and he decided to pay it to another charity instead, but had nothing to do with me. I'm not medically qualified, so I have no idea about his condition. So she's admitted that she knows nothing about his condition there, and neither do I have control over what other people decide. But there, it's asking for proof of his up-and-coming operation. Nothing about that. So, after being dropped again, of course, I'm going to be angry. Any normal person in this situation would be angry. And people say things when they're angry. But for you to say that I've said things that I haven't, not the best way to calm me down, really. You've made out you've had loads of abuse. You've called us liars, accused others, and said that we gave out your number. Sorry, guys. Sorry to disappoint. You're a counsellor. It's public. Look, Google it. There, right in the middle. Phone number. No one's gave your number out. Why would we want to waste our time giving your number out? It's there. Councillor Fairbanks. Also, something I'm going to pick up on as soon as I see the bit of paper in front of me now. Trying to explain about autism as a terminal illness. That happens to be a disability, not a disease. So that doesn't come under the same brackets to start with. And for those that want to say terminally ill, another printout. Refers to a person who has a disease that cannot be cured and will eventually lead to death. Typically, a doctor will use a range to forecast life expectancy. This and another side states someone with a terminal illness can live for years. And I understand that completely. But I will get to that bit because I can actually feel myself getting quite angry now. But I'll deal with it. The police took 4 weeks to come and take my statement after we'd been burgled. So, don't expect to hear anything until about at least 4 months with this, because it's not name-calling on Twitter or being right-wing on Facebook. It's fraud, so I say about 4 months instead of 4 weeks, but we'll see. You go on about teams. Tommy's team. Connor's team. We're not a team. We're a family. This isn't a game. And I don't know why you keep referring to it as a game. This isn't a game. Because at the end of the day, what we're doing as a family is we're trying to do what's right for Connor. And the last thing, after all this, that we want is any of that money. We don't want it. It's not about the money. This is principle. And I really don't care if we never see it again. We'll sort it out some other way by working or doing what we're doing. Like I said, we never asked for your help. And I really wish I'd said no. This is more about people making sure other people that have worked for their money are getting their money back and getting the refunds that they deserve. At the end of the day, why didn't you bring up the statement that you should have for the Just Giving, not the GoFundMe? And as for the money from Melanie Shaw, I'll never believe where that goes. That's gone. But, says, life lessons we learn. I'm not bothered if the money from the boxing has gone to another charity. But where's your proof? You keep going on about evidence and proof and all that crap. And I have got a nice little pile of screenshots here. I haven't finished printing, to be fair. Sorry about that long pause. I was just breathing before I did the next bit. I don't believe anything that you say anymore. Hence, why I've asked where it is. And if you can prove it's all been put where it's been put. Not just where you said it's been put. And there, I just called you a liar. But, hey, I'm going to get accused, might do it. Connor will be going on his holiday. And we will still financially support two sides of the family. Because while you're crying and playing the victim in all this, you've had no respect at all for what this is doing to Connor. You know, the one that this is all about to start with. You've got no idea. And throwing terminally ill around like it's a fucking tennis ball is appalling. Now, like I says, while you're playing victim, let's get a bit of what we do. A bit more of our life that we really didn't want to share, but we've got to share it now because of you. Just so people know that you're the one that should be getting questioned. You're the one that's caused these problems. So let me get me a deep board for this. Let me get bits of paper. Until now, you really had absolutely no idea that there was two terminally ill people in my family. And one very, very rarely gets a mention. 18 years old, with 24-hour clock care, round-the-clock care. And you wouldn't have thought, at 16, he was just like a normal 16-year-old boy with some sort of disabilities going on. And a little over a year ago, he became paralysed from the neck down. He's got a pacemaker fitted. And he's got tubes coming out of his throat and he has to be fed by tube. He's got oxygen, everything that you need. One nurse and two carers, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From a fit, being able to run, play boy with disabilities. But with his condition, his terminal condition, he could still live to a ripe old age. Because no one knows with how complex it is. He's got no way of getting out of bed and doing things himself. We'd take my mum out to take her mind off things for a couple of hours and take her for dinner around the market just so she's getting a little bit of a break. And do they get mentioned? No. So if I was up for pushing things or trying to rip people off, don't you think there would have been a different way around it? And don't you think he would have got a bit more of a mention? But then that's you just accusing us of some sort of wrongdoing regarding all this, when clearly the finger should be pointed at you. Both families are being ripped off by the state. Sammy Joe has been punished for having twins because of the benefit cap of how many children you have. So, between what's going on with my brother's side of the family and what's going on with my grandson's side of the family, on a weekly basis we make sure that they've got things topped up and they've got money sent to them. So, we're basically paying the money the state should be to support them. We do our best. Like I said, as well as the donating to charities and paying our own bills, we've worked for that money and we choose how to spend it. But we've never asked for help. And this is where you have really irritated me with this. Like I said, should have said no. Again, I could repeat myself about it being the principle of the matter. It's not to do with the money. I want to know that people have got their money back, or it's gone where they've said it's gone, not just, oh, we believe you, kiss, kiss, kiss. Also, if you had nothing to hide, why did you start going around deleting things? Like the video after you set the Just Giving page up, the one with Jimmy the Hat on Wake Up UK, the one that we'd actually recorded a week and a half ago, so delete away, already got it, and we recorded it, we didn't download it. And in my last video, I stated Team Tommy to go fuck themselves. I was fuming, yeah. And like I said before, any normal person would be a bit pissed off. At the end of the day, I didn't slag anyone off. I was just voicing an angry opinion. And again, it's been all twisted and shot out of proportion, hasn't it? It doesn't matter if you want to twist and add your own shit. And if none of you ever speak to me again, then fair play. But don't try that, oh, she's slagging them off, because I don't work like that. I still wouldn't stand there and call someone something they're not. For example, the good old example of calling Tommy Robinson a racist. I would still proudly stand there and go, no, he's not. Because he isn't. This is the difference between patriots and attention seekers. We're on the same side, we fight the same battle for the same country. No one will ever agree on everything 100%. And I won't slag people off behind their backs. If I've got something to say, I will say it to their faces. Tommy will still be defended and supported in the stuff he does for this country. We just won't be spending hundreds of pounds travelling up and down the country and handing money out to those that do. We have a holiday that we've got to sort out now because of all this, and obviously me sat here for an hour, 45 minutes or whatever it took to do this video. We've still got that holiday to pay for, and one thing I was brought with was charity begins at home. So that'll be our grandson, my brother. We work for our family, not for you, by the way, but we felt that we had to give two different people, and that's why we did what we did. And I will ask you one more time, where's the evidence? Where's all the evidence of where people's money's gone? And did that 50 quid ever make it to Melanie Shaw? Also, what right did you have to pick and share confidential papers to play your game? I left it at that video where I mentioned no names. You was the one that dug the rest of the problem. You're the problem, not me. Team Tommy's not the problem, but you say you're part of Team Tommy. And you seem to throw his name around an awful lot, and it's going to cause damage within Team Tommy because of the way things are run. Leaving people like yourself that can't bring this evidence to light and makes out that you're the martyr when it was actually you that started attacking. Now, you let my grandson get his hopes up. You went forward like a bull in a china shop, knowing nothing about his condition. Even though one of the first things that we being part of Team Tommy, I thought he would have done was research the condition and find out exactly what type of that condition he's got. So, when you realised you'd fucked up, then you went for the jugular and thought that you'd try and drag people down that work honestly and put money in, that used to put money into the movement, not anymore. You decided to drag them down and then make out that we've been slagging all the team off and this, that and other. Like I said, I will still stand there and argue the toss if someone says something about someone in the movement that isn't true. And Colette Fairbanks, seeing as you like to put my full names out there, the only two that I use, by the way. One's my maiden name, one's my married name. So I haven't got multiple names. I've got two, the ones I use. I suggest that if anyone now wants to know where the money's gone, because in total, including the link in the room, there's been 3 accounts. One's a Just Giving, one was GoFundMe, the other one in the room that I don't know about which group it's with or anything. Now, we've already come to the conclusion that refunds were made regarding the one with Sammy's name on it. Where's all the money gone from the Just Giving? Now, I don't want to know, because to be fair, you've already wasted enough of my time when I should be getting on with this stuff for Connor. But other people are going to start asking, where's the money? And that was your bank account. I can only say there was £110 in it because that's the last bit of evidence I've got regarding the £110. I got told there was a little bit more in it, but because I haven't got that evidence there, I've got to stop at the £110. I don't know how much was made on the boxing, so therefore, whatever it was, made on the boxing. But again, didn't accuse you. I never wanted to do this video because this goes against advice I give out on a regular basis about infighting. But you left me no choice, because I'm not going to sit by and watch you drag my family through the muck. When, like I says, we never asked for your help, it was you that fucking gave all the empty promises, not us. So, when people start coming out of the woodwork and asking for the evidence, I suggest you've got it there, because otherwise you're going to have a load more shit on your shoulders. Leave my family alone. And the worst thing you could have done was try and make this out like we were the bad bastards. I've lost interest completely because, like I said, you've wasted too much of my time already. And to me, the time's precious, because the quicker we get these out, the quicker the fun starts building up again. And we, at the same time, we need to be building up awareness for childhood illnesses and awareness for things that could be missed, things that are in a long list of things that can be misdiagnosed, because children shouldn't be suffering. And in this day and age, with all the tests and everything else, no child should have to be going through what Connor's going through, let alone have 2 in the same family that are, I'll just say, very, very, very ill, because we can't put a date on it. They're not a loaf of fucking bread at the end of the day. So I'm going to go carry on doing what I need to be doing. And one last thing, Colette. Well done, because you've just fed the gremlins.